say something to you. If you were to ask the average intercessor, what do you do? The intercessor would tell you that they pray for people. Well, the truth of the matter is that intercessors don't pray for people. Intercessors praise as the person and not for the person. Intercessors enter the seed in order to enter the session. There is a session in your life that you cannot bear yourself. So God raises up someone to take your place. Great day in the morning. To bear the infirmities of the weak. Intercessor. Come here. Come here. Turn around. He gonna be step right there. He gonna be my intercessor. The minute I can't handle what I'm going through, God raises up someone to intercede for me. He's carrying the load. I know you're trying to handle it well. And it's heavy. I'm breaking you down. The thing that we have to understand is that if what Bishop George Bloomer is saying is correct, that intercessors enter a session and enter the seed in order to change the situation. Whew. If we understand that, and you're called as an intercessor, there are times when you can't sleep because you've been called. A time you can't eat, it's because you've been called. A time that you feel sick, because you've been called. A time you begin to feel different emotions and different things because you have been what? You've been called, selected by the Holy Spirit to intercede on behalf of someone who can't do it themselves. Intercession. In fact, the intercessors are the secret service of the church. The intercessors should not announce themselves as, God bless you, I'm intercessor so-and-so. The intercessors are the secret service, the KGB, the FBI of the church. It is things that the Lord shows them and reveals unto them because they're strong enough to carry it to a waster where the end of that thing can take place. Well, that's the job of the Holy Spirit. Now, some of you might be having a little bit of problem with that theologically, but if you do, then you have a problem with Paul's writing on the cross. He said, I'm crucified with Christ, but I live. Not I, but Christ that lives in me. And the life I now live, I live through the faith of the Son of God who died and gave himself for me. The Apostle Paul says, I'm not saved because I believed in God. I'm saved because God believed in me. And the life I now live, I live through the faith of the Son of God who died and gave himself for me. And when he was on the cross, I was on his mind. That he stood as our intercessor to come in and take our place on the cross. So we don't have to die because he died for us. But the Holy Spirit's job is a little bit different. The Holy Spirit's job is to be our interpreter, to come up and to interpret certain things that we would say. So I'm starting to pray. The difference between the physical interpreter and the Holy Spirit is that if you're going to allow the Holy Spirit to be your intercessor, you have to give him the power of attorney over your tongue. That whatever he says is okay. You see, when I say the Lord is in this place and the interpreter says, well, you got that, his job is to only say what I say. But when the Holy Spirit is interpreting for you, the Holy Spirit prays the will of the Father. For we know not what to pray for as we ought. But the Holy Spirit maketh intercession for us with groanings, words that cannot be uttered, articulated. There are things that we need, but we cannot speak it because we do not know. There's no words to that. But the Holy Spirit steps in, and in the midst, you're going into the grocery store and you're looking for something. The Holy Spirit just moves on you, and it prays in the will of God. Now, there's some of us who says, you know what? The Lord really blessed me, Pastor, and something happened to me, and I didn't even